Americans are being crushed by credit card debt, and reports indicate this is going to get far worse before it ever gets any better. Now, we're going to address this, but explain why this is happening, the concern that Americans have, and why banks are highly concerned about what is taking place right now with consumer spending, but also our interest rates. So I'm going to break that down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. In the fourth quarter of 2023, household debt rose by $212 billion, and now it's sitting at $17.5 trillion. Over $1.1 trillion of that is credit card debt, and millions of Americans have no way of getting out of this payment, getting away from this debt. We are seeing Americans are saddled with debt. So some Americans have become saddled with credit card debt as rents and everyday prices remain high. This is something that is not going away. Rents for your apartment, for your condo, payment for your home, these are things that are going to continue to go up. These are not things that are going to go down. And why? Well, we have a housing shortage. What a housing shortage means, we see demand go up because supply is down. That means prices are going up as well. But many people don't realize that, and they've been told and lied to by the Federal Reserve, by the Treasury. We were told for a long time that inflation was transitory. Now we're seeing that was a complete lie, and inflation is not coming down. In fact, inflation is still going up. We are still seeing inflation. Yes, it's disinflation, which means it's not going up as quickly, but it's still a concern. But why is this a concern? Why would inflation be a problem? Well, it's because the American people were putting things on credit cards. Okay, I really need that new couch, so I'm going to put that on my credit card. I really need those new rims because, mine are a little bit scuffed up. I'm going to put that on my credit card. I really need to pay for that burrito from Chipotle, so, well, I'm going to put that on my credit card because inflation was transitory. It was going to go away, right? We were going to see the economy go right back to where it once was. Well, that was a lie. It's not going back. It is actually going to get worse. I want to show you something. This right here, this is the amount of debt, the average total debt in 2023. This is based off of just your age, okay? So I want to show you this. In 2022, the average debt for 18 to 26-year-old was $25,851. It jumped to $29,820 in 2023. It's actually going up, okay? Millennials, 115,000 in 2022, 125,000 in 2023. Gen X, 154,000 in 2022, 157,000 in 2023. And then it drops off as baby boomers and the silent generation. Anyway, the reason why I bring this up is simple. What we have seen is the older generations that have been through multiple economic crashes. They understand what it takes to get through it, but at the same time, understand what is on the opposite side, what is on the back side of that crash. The younger generations had absolutely no clue. Now, I was heavily involved in what the economy was doing. I was trading. I had multiple businesses during the 2009 financial crisis. And so I kind of knew what was coming, and I planned ahead. I prepared for it. And if you've been watching this channel, you knew exactly what I was doing. I told you when I was selling stocks. I told you when I was creating new businesses. I told you all those things in the pandemic. I said, you should do this. I highly recommend it. Well, some people that took me up on that advice came out and they're looking really good now. Others, not so much. Now, why does all this matter? Why does inflation matter? Well, it's because of this. I want to read this to you. This person says why inflation matters. It matters because people are spending their money on necessities and not luxury items. They say this means no new car purchases, no new furniture purchases are over, shopping for new clothes is coming to an end, and buying a new home is still out of reach and too expensive. It's because of all this, businesses are now going to be forced to lay off their employees in order for that business to remain profitable. I talked about this morning as well, that layoffs are coming, mass layoffs as well. Now, once this happens and we see mass layoffs, which I project is going to happen soon, we're already seeing them happen in the technology sector. We're already seeing it with Microsoft, IBM, UPS, whatever. These are all companies that are struggling, right? Even big companies, Amazon, right? Laying people off. Here's what's going to happen. Once you start receiving unemployment benefits, if you can get it, you're going to realize that you do not have the money it takes to rent your apartment, pay for your car payment, pay for your phone and your Netflix and your Starbucks every single day. You're going to have to decide what you're going to pay and what you're going to pretty much miss. The majority of people are likely going to pay their rent. They'll make their car payment. They will skip their credit card debts. They will skip their credit card payments. Once that happens and you see now you're getting a late fee, okay, a late payment, or you're just missing the entire thing, you are going to get stuck with a huge bill, something that you couldn't afford before. There's no way you can afford now. This is why experts say this crisis is about to get worse. But I want to show you this as well. Look right here. It says, how many credit cards do Americans have? An Experian report shows on average, people have 3 different credit card accounts. Roughly 191 million American adults have at least one credit card account. Half of all of Americans have at least 2 cards, and 13 have at least 5 cards. 13% of Americans have 5 cards. I wish I could tell you that I'm shocked by that. I personally have more than that. And the reason, and I'm not, just your average consumer. I use a lot of these cards for business. Okay? But again, 13% of Americans, 13% of 191 million people have 5 cards or more. That's crazy. But here's the reason why that's scary. Many people can only afford 1. And even that 1 card, you will miss payments on that. And this is where you can get down and pretty much go down a very slippery slope, is if you open up a new card because you cannot afford to buy food and medication and pay for your Netflix, guess what? You open up a new card because, well, my other one's maxed out. I can't spend any more on that. I'll just keep making the minimum payment. You're going to be paying that thing off for years. You will never be able to use that in the next 2 or 3 years. So you get a new card, and then you go down that rabbit hole and you start maxing that one out. Then guess what happens? That card gets thrown into a drawer. You can't use it anymore. Now you go apply for a new one. And here's the problem. Back in 2021, the average interest rate on a credit card was about 16%. 16%. Today, it's over 22%. It's a huge difference. So, I just want to warn you that right now, Americans are being crushed by credit card debt, and you may be one of them. But this is a very tricky situation that you need to navigate really slowly, but make sure you're doing it carefully, because if not, your debt could get worse, and you will never be able to pay this off. So, just wanted to fill you in on what's going on at this time. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, ask your questions down in the comment section below. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.